Hello YouTube. My name is Jason, and I want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming and watching the introductory video to what I hope will be a relatively active, informative, humorous channel focused on miniatures wargaming. First, a little bit about me. My name is Jason. I currently live in Vienna, Austria, although I will be returning to the Washington, D.C. area later on this summer. I am a husband and a father of a very precocious 6-year-old boy and a Labrador Retriever who's expecting me to take him out any minute now. And you might think it's weird that I focus on that up front, but it'll become more important why I raised that and how the role it'll play in the channel, not just the dog, but the whole family part. And I am a wargamer. Like it's making an admission of something we tend to keep secret. But I am a wargamer. I've been a wargamer since about 2010 when I stumbled into a Games Workshop outside of Springfield, Virginia. Hopefully some of my current or future subscribers will know where that is, across from the mall. And initially got into 40K Tau, which is a mistake in my case. My meager wargaming skills were not a match, or were no match for that army, and I got tabled a number of times and got a little bit disenfranchised, but then got hooked on Warriors of Chaos, and it's been kind of uphill since then, or uphill. It has taken off since then, much to my wife's chagrin at times. So, been in wargaming since 2010, focused primarily on Games Workshop products. Now I spend most of my time with Warhammer Fantasy, although I'm getting more into 40K. I actually prefer the models and the lore of 40K, but I prefer the gameplay of Fantasy. I think Fantasy as a background is kind of stale, it's kind of vanilla, but I really like the game. 40K, I get much more into the fluff. So I have a Black Templar Imperial Fists army in work as we speak. I also play, or I would like to play, other games. I'm actually having a bat rep coming up in 2 weekends on Infinity. I really like Dystopian Wars, but I can't find anybody to play them with. And then I have accumulated a mishmash of models and other games from eBay or other places that I'd like to paint up someday. As one of my YouTube Wargaming compatriots says, the wall of shame, the wall of gray, the wall of unpainted plastic, whatever you want to call it. So a little bit more about this channel and what it will be and what it will not be. First and foremost, it will be an opportunity, a venue for me to engage you, my colleagues, my fellow wargamers, in discussions on what's going on with the hobby. New army books, what's kind of trending hot and not, but from a perspective of a part-time wargamer. All of us have responsibilities, particularly those of us with families and kids and wives that have other things for us to do and full-time jobs. Again, an opportunity for me to engage in what I see going on, what my experiences have been wargaming, both as an opportunity to, or a means to have some camaraderie with the rest of us, with the rest of you, who have undoubtedly endured or enjoyed various aspects of our hobby. So generally, just what's going on in the hobby right now. A good chunk of this channel will also focus on modeling, both my own modeling and in terms of vlogs on my various armies, but also reviews of things that come across my desk or things that I see when I'm out that I don't think are getting a lot of coverage in the broader wargame community. So there's plenty of other channels. Templars Crusade 01. Brian does an outstanding job of product reviews, and there are innumerable unboxings and the latest codex reviews. I probably won't do that. One, because I'm not normally at the game store the day of waiting to get my codex or doing the immediate download unless it's one of my own personal armies. But will I give my perspective on things? Perhaps. What I'm really looking forward to doing, though, is things that I come across that I don't see getting a lot of coverage. For example, Bretonnians are it's my primary Warhammer Fantasy project. And I stumbled across on a very prominent Bretonnian website. A fellow wargamer makes decals, transfers for Warhammer Fantasy Bretonnian models, both historical and historically accurate and fantastical ones. I know those of us that do Bretonnians or model Bretonnians know that the decals are getting a little old and they're getting a little stale. So I've ordered those, and when they come in the mail, I will talk about them. Similar to the vein, along the lines of what Anthony at the Sustainable Debt Center did with the metal movement trays, which I saw his video on, and I actually purchased for my Bretonnian army. So things that don't get a lot of play or coverage. And then from there, so we've got the hobby to modeling to gaming. And gaming is really where I like to put my focus, because I see on YouTube, I don't want to call it a stagnation, but people seem to be getting bored with the pitched battle, meeting engagement, Watchtower for fantasy things, and there's others for 40K. That they don't seem to be very excited. They're doing what the small basic rule book, those missions. And I think, one, that there's a whole lot more out there to make things interesting, and two, given the fact that I have limited opportunities to game because of other responsibilities, and I suspect that many of you out there are in a similar boat, any ways that you can kind of spice up or add some variety into the games we play, I think is outstanding. That's a key focus area of mine. So, in other words, how to make your average everyday games even more fun. I mean, for me, getting the opportunity to play any kind of miniatures game is going to be fun. Can you take it to that next level? So if I come across a linked campaign set from back in the day that you can update to current ones. One of the videos I plan on doing is on an old GW product, a compilation of various battle reports or campaign styles that you can do, and you can adapt to 8th edition and maybe make your games a lot more interesting, a lot more thematic, a lot more fluffy, if you want to use that term. But first and foremost, what this channel is going to be is fun. I don't plan on raging about GW's latest practices, although if they get really out of hand, or if they talk about or actually move forward on, getting rid of the Bretonnians or hitting them with a nerf bet like they hit my Templars, I might get a little peeved about it, but this isn't going to be a rant channel. This is a hobby for me. It's a hobby for many of you. There's no sense in getting that wound up about it, in my view. So hopefully this will have a little bit of humor to it. We can all commiserate on the various negative experiences that we have that are hopefully are far outweighed by all the great opportunities we have to play this very fun hobby. Frequency, in terms of videos, probably weekly at this point. I'm still learning this camera. This is about my 8th take. In fact, if I turn the microphone on this time, let's double check. I have. So hopefully sound is recording this time. And I got myself a little paranoid right there. So once I learn this better and I learn how long it takes me to make a certain kind of video, some will take longer than others, hopefully I'll get some feedback from you on what you would or would not like to see from this channel. That'll determine it. But I would say at least weekly. And then if there's, it'd be much easier for me to do a response to somebody else's video versus doing a battle report, which will take me a lot longer to figure out how to do that. What will this channel not be? Again, this channel won't be heavy bat reps. I just don't have the time to do it. I would love to be able to do it, but I get a game in probably every 2 or 3 weeks. That could change when I come back to the States this summer. Who knows? But if you're coming here exclusively for battle reports, I'm sorry, you're going to be a little disappointed. Hopefully I'll have other things to talk about that you can laugh at or shake your head at while you're painting your models, because that's what I spend a lot of time doing, listening to your and other people's channels out there. So that's kind of really what I'm shooting for. Ultimately, when this hobby stops being fun, or this channel stops being fun for me, it's going to end. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I actually spent money on a fancy microphone. So I'm invested in the YouTube channel, but don't look for serious. You might find serious content, but don't look for content that takes itself too seriously. See what I did there? So what's next? I mentioned a couple. In terms of videos, again, campaign ideas to make your games more fun. Product reviews, both in terms of maybe scenery things that don't get coverage that much. I also like doing some scenery. I'll kind of switch in and out of what my interest is right then. If I get tired of doing models, I'll go from fantasy to 40K, and then maybe I'll do some scenery for a while. I painted the Realm Battle board. I don't know that I'll definitely necessarily do a video on that. I might. I don't know. There'll probably be some vlogging for my armies. It seems as though on the regular websites that people like to see each other's armies. So again, depending on your feedback, I might do something on the armies that I have now, and then the work that's progressing on them or not. And then bat reps. Again, I said I get a bat. I get a game in about every 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to play around with, when I have to ask permission of my buddies that I play with. I don't think they'll care, but you always want to do that, because I have a small group of close friends that I game with. I don't go down to the Games Workshop or the FLGS. I say that auf Deutsch. All that often, really ever, other than to pick up things, modeling supplies. So I will do bat reps when I can. I enjoy listening or watching other people's bat reps, and so I'm sure you're going to like to laugh at me and the stupid mistakes that I make. So kind of in sum, I want to thank you for taking a look at this video and hopefully subscribing, wherever the button is. I'm not going to do the little boxy thing above my head, but you know where it is. Subscribing. I hope what content comes out of this channel you will find of use. But before I end, I really want to take this opportunity to thank a group of people who gave me some outstanding advice when it came to me considering starting up this channel. I reached out to a number of prominent YouTubers and soliciting some thoughts, and several of them got back to me. So guys like Brian over at Templar's Crusade, thank you very much for the feedback. I watch your channel all the time, and kind of the relaxed attitude is something I really appreciate. Lord Tremendous, relatively new channel, does outstanding bat reps. I really like the guy's energy, and again, he took a lot of time to respond back and give me some tips and encouragement. Malorian, thank you very much. I mean, you're kind of at the tippy top of the Wargaming YouTubers, but you still took time to reach out. So I really do appreciate what you did for me there. And Once Bitten, I definitely watched your starting videos, so thanks for putting those out. But my greatest thanks has to go to Reef. Reef is, his channel is something that I stumbled on about 2 months ago, and I would say it's my favorite wargaming channel out there, because he's got a lot to say, but I look up and just great energy, great talker, and he took a lot of time. He actually did a Google Hangout and gave me a lot of great tips. So from one Bretonnian player to a Beastman player, neither of which are power armies, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it, and hopefully I can take a lot of the advice that seems very sound and integrate it to my own channel. So again, thank you very much, gentlemen, and to the rest of you, I hope you subscribe. I hope you like the content. Please leave comments so I can adapt and adjust the channel as much as possible, and happy wargaming.